Marcus Aurelius once reminded us that another person cannot harm you unless you allow them to. The injury occurs not when words are spoken, but when you permit yourself to believe you've been hurt. This is one of the fundamental insights of Stoic philosophy. When someone insults you or makes a cutting remark, the event itself is neutral. It carries no emotional weight on its own. It comes without a built-in label of good or bad. Instead, it is the judgment you attach to it, the meaning you assign, that determines whether you feel distressed or remain at peace. This is why Marcus Aurelius emphasized in his Meditations that you always have the choice to withhold an opinion. You are never forced to judge. There is no obligation to get upset, to lose your inner stability, or to let your soul be shaken by things you cannot control. Events are not asking to be judged by you. They simply are. Let them be. So the real question becomes, when will you finally stop choosing sadness or frustration? The Stoics understood that much of our emotional reality is self-constructed. Our inner life is deeply influenced by how we interpret the external world. For example, you can take a personal setback as an unfair punishment, falling into a powerless state of self-pity. Or you can see that same setback as fuel for growth, as raw material uniquely tailored to shape your strength and wisdom. The same event can produce two entirely different inner worlds, all depending on the lens of perception. Which brings us to one of Marcus Aurelius's most repeated lessons. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Accept this truth, and you discover a reservoir of strength you didn't know you had. In this journey, we'll uncover timeless wisdom from Stoic thinkers who showed that emotional mastery is not about denying or suppressing your feelings. Rather, it's about transforming and understanding them so they serve your growth instead of undermining it. Lesson 1. The art of Stoic emotional resilience. Why do emotions so often seem to dominate us rather than the other way around? The Stoics believe the answer is simple yet profound. It isn't emotions themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This principle forms the cornerstone of Stoic resilience. Since emotions are born from our interpretations, we always retain the ability to reshape our responses. By reframing our perspective, we can transform our emotional landscape. The key is remembering that our first reaction is not final. How many times have you reacted instantly and regretted it later? Stoic practice encourages a pause between stimulus and response, an intentional breath where you shift from raw impulse to rational choice. Picture yourself moving through life's challenges with a calm, unshaken heart. That's not fantasy. It's a practice available to anyone willing to exercise disciplined reflection. It means digging into the hidden beliefs that fuel your emotional reactions. Beneath anger, fear, or sadness lies a judgment, something you've decided about reality. Question that, and you begin to loosen the grip of the emotion. A powerful Stoic tool here is cognitive distancing, imagining your emotions from the perspective of an outside observer. This space allows you to engage with them rationally rather than being consumed by them. Think back. Can you recall a time when a simple shift in viewpoint turned a heavy burden into a manageable challenge? That's the essence of resilience, turning adversity into growth. A practical way to start is through journaling. Each evening, write about situations where emotions dominated you, then reflect on alternative perspectives you might have taken. This not only develops self-awareness, but also gradually trains your mind to choose reason over impulse. For the Stoics, emotional resilience wasn't just theory, it was a daily habit. By practicing it ourselves, we can cultivate the same stability, clarity, and freedom that they demonstrated in their lives. Lesson 2. Cultivating the Stoic mindset to manage anger. Anger, according to the Stoics, is one of the most destructive emotions. Seneca called it a brief madness, because in its grip, reason abandons us and we often act in ways we later regret. Anger usually arises from violated expectations or perceived injustice. But here is where Stoic wisdom pierces through. Our expectations are often illusions, shaped by what we think the world should give us. When reality doesn't align, we feel wronged. The Stoic solution? Re-examine those expectations. Human beings are flawed, unpredictable, and imperfect. Why expect otherwise? If you realign your expectations with reality, your anger naturally softens. To prepare, the Stoics practiced premeditation of evils, mentally rehearsing possible frustrations in advance. By picturing the annoyances and setbacks that might come, you're less shaken when they do. Instead of being caught off guard, you're ready. In the heat of anger, they advise the view from above, imagining the situation as if you were seeing it from a higher detached perspective. From that vantage point, most grievances appear small and fleeting. And for immediate anger management, pause, breathe deeply. Step away if needed. This space weakens anger's hold and allows reason to re-enter. By weaving these Stoic strategies into daily life, anger loses its grip. You protect relationships, strengthen your inner peace, and avoid the regrets that so often follow an outburst. Over time, calmness becomes your default state, and anger rarely finds room to take root. Lesson 3. Embracing Stoic flexibility to overcome fear. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to living fully. The Stoics understood that fear often comes not from reality itself, but from our projections, our dread of what might happen. To dissolve fear, they cultivated Stoic flexibility, the willingness to adapt to reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Most fears fall into two categories: things that will never be as bad as we imagine, and things we cannot control at all. In either case, fear is wasted energy. The Stoics taught us to focus only on what is within our control: our choices, our judgments, our actions. When we root ourselves here, fear loses much of its force. One practice is regularly meditating on impermanence. Life is always shifting, and our ability to adapt is greater than we think. By normalizing change, uncertainty loses its sting. Another method resembles modern exposure therapy, deliberately facing smaller fears in a controlled way. This Stoic exercise builds confidence, showing us that fear shrinks with direct confrontation. Reflection also plays a key role. When you remember past fears you overcame, you strengthen your courage for future trials. Every success becomes a reminder that you can endure again. In this way, fear transforms from a prison into a teacher, an invitation to practice courage, adaptability, and growth. Lesson 4. Mastering emotional responses with Stoic acceptance. Why do our emotions so often spiral out of control? The Stoics insisted it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our responses to them. True mastery begins with Stoic acceptance, embracing events as part of a rational, ordered universe. This practice starts by recognizing what is beyond your influence. You can't control people, fate, or chance. What you can control is your interpretation, your judgment, and your reaction. By redirecting your energy inward, you reclaim stability. Daily reflection helps. Each evening, review your day. When did you let outside events disturb your peace? How could you have responded differently? Epictetus stressed this constant rehearsal, knowing in advance what is within your power and what isn't. In the moment, acceptance means pausing before reacting. Breathe. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic do right now? This mental buffer prevents emotional hijacking and gives you the chance to respond with wisdom. Over time, acceptance reshapes not just your reactions, but your way of living. It becomes a habit of calm clarity, enabling you to face both fortune and misfortune with equal poise. Lesson 5. The Stoic path to overcoming envy. Envy is a corrosive emotion, born from comparison. When we measure our worth against others, we often come up short in our own minds, draining our peace. The Stoics warned against this trap. Happiness, they argued, cannot be built on the shifting sands of other people's fortunes. Instead, focus on your own growth and virtue. Gratitude is a powerful antidote. By actively recognizing the good already present in your life, you shift from scarcity to abundance. Another Stoic reminder: external goods are temporary. Wealth, fame, possessions, all fade. If they don't define happiness, why envy them? Self-awareness also matters. Notice when envy rises within you and examine it. Ask, does this serve me? Does it reflect my values? With practice, envy weakens, replaced by genuine joy in others' success and deeper contentment in your own journey. Lesson 6. Stoic strategies for building patience. Impatience thrives in our fast-paced world. But for the Stoics, impatience was rooted in false expectations, believing events should unfold according to our timeline and control. True patience is wisdom in practice. It acknowledges that life moves at its own pace, and many outcomes are beyond us. To practice patience, deliberately slow your responses. When tempted to snap or rush, pause. Let reason guide you. Meditating on the fleeting nature of life also helps. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about the brevity of existence. Seen in this light, many irritations become trivial. Empathy plays a role too. Recognizing others' struggles makes it easier to wait, to forgive delays, and to extend understanding. Patience doesn't just improve relationships, it deepens inner peace. With it, you align more closely with nature's rhythm, moving through life with steadiness rather than agitation. Lesson 7. Harnessing Stoic courage in the face of adversity. Courage in Stoicism is more than battlefield bravery. It is the daily act of facing fears, doubts, and hardships with integrity. True courage is not the absence of fear, but mastery over it, choosing to act according to principle even when the outcome is uncertain. You build courage through small steps. Speak up when it's easier to stay silent. Face discomfort instead of fleeing from it. These minor victories train you for larger battles. Reflection strengthens courage. Recall past challenges you overcame. Each is proof of your resilience. Community helps too. Surrounding yourself with people who embody courage inspires and sustains your own. With Stoic courage, adversity becomes not a crushing weight, but a proving ground, an arena where your character is tested and refined. Lesson 8. The Stoic way to cultivate contentment. Why does contentment seem so elusive? The Stoics believed it's because we seek it in the wrong places, in possessions, achievements, or the approval of others. True contentment, they taught, comes from within. It grows from gratitude, simplicity, and alignment with virtue. Daily practices such as gratitude journaling and meditations on impermanence help shift focus from longing to appreciation. Limiting exposure to comparison, like reducing time on social media, also protects contentment. By focusing on your own path, you free yourself from the endless cycle of wanting more. Simplicity plays a vital role. By decluttering life, stripping away the unnecessary, you create space for what truly matters: wisdom, virtue, and peace. Contentment is not passive resignation, but an active choice to value what endures over what fades. Lesson 9. Embracing change with Stoic adaptability. Change is life's only constant, yet resistance to it is one of our greatest sources of suffering. The Stoics urged adaptability, a willingness to flow with life rather than fight it. Adaptability means accepting impermanence and preparing mentally for multiple outcomes. By scenario planning different possibilities, you reduce anxiety and are better equipped when circumstances shift. Detachment also fuels adaptability. By not tying your identity or happiness to specific results, you remain flexible and balanced. Adaptability isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the art of aligning with reality instead of clinging to illusions. Lesson 10. The Stoic practice of self-mastery. For the Stoics, self-mastery was the highest form of power. To govern your desires, impulses, and actions is to be truly free. Self-mastery begins with awareness. Notice your patterns, where you give in, where you act against your values. Then intentionally align actions with virtue. Daily intentions help. Choose one quality, patience, honesty, discipline, and practice it consciously. Over time, small efforts compound into strength of character. Voluntary discomfort was another Stoic tool. By occasionally denying yourself luxury or enduring hardship, you train your mind to remain steady even when life is not easy. Reflection completes the cycle. Journaling, meditation, and discussion allow you to track progress and stay committed to growth. Self-mastery is not perfection. It's the pursuit of living more rationally, more deliberately, more in harmony with your highest nature. And in this pursuit lies peace, freedom, and the ultimate Stoic victory: mastery over the self. If you found value in this, consider sharing it with someone who could benefit. And don't forget, a simple like goes a long way in spreading Stoic wisdom. For more insights on philosophy, personal growth, and the art of clear thinking, subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay strong, stay mindful, and above all, stay Stoic. See you in the next video.